Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
And a very powerful movie is in theaters starting tonight. The movie based on the worst oil disaster in U.S. history. This is based on the true story that took place on the oil rig off the Gulf of Mexico. This is Deepwater Horizon.
There's someone at your door.
Are you seeing this?
Mike, what is that? Is everything okay?
We gotta go right now!
This movie is directed by Peter Berg, who did Lone Survivor. We'll forget about Battleship and focus on what he did with Lone Survivor. But he reteams with Mark Wahlberg once again to tell an incredibly powerful story. I'm sure we all remember this back in 2013, that giant oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico that occurred on the oil rig Deepwater Horizon. BP, the oil company, was behind it. And this movie is a top 5 movie of the year. Peter Berg knows how to direct these stories based on true stories about, true United States heroes, people who laid everything out on the line just to survive, to help others, to sacrifice. And this is a story that, to me, needed to be told because from what I remember about in the news stories, you mostly heard about the oil spill and the damage it was having on the environment. And while that is not to be overlooked, so many of the people that really sacrificed, 11 people died during this disaster, this oil rig explosion. And I felt like that part was left out. And that is such an incredibly powerful and intense and moving story that needed to be told. And Peter Berg was the right guy to do this. The way he directs this stuff, every explosion, every little thing has such an impact. And when things start to go bad on this rig, and they get bad, things get intense.
I'll call you back!
When the walls caving in, and the world stops.
Hey!
Hear the voice.
Mayday, Mayday! This is Deepwater Horizon. What's wrong?
Me towards the rocks.
Not new, baby.
I mean, every little explosion has such impact, has such force. You feel it. While in the middle of this movie, when things are really starting to go wrong, when the rig really explodes, I was both choked up and shaking. I had such an adrenaline rush just out of pure fear of what was going on in this movie. This movie plays like a horror movie. Obviously you're not your traditional, jump scares and monsters, but it's just a horrific and tragic event. And Peter Berg puts you on the oil rig during these events. You feel as you are there. It's like boots on the ground, and it is terrifying because you feel as though you're in the middle of this absolute chaos, and it's just pure fear. The way some of the actors portray just pure shock and confusion. All of the performances sell it so well. Kurt Russell is great as kind of the oil rig manager. He's kind of in charge for the most part. He's not a BP guy, but he's in charge as far as the oil rig goes. Mark Wahlberg's kind of one of the head guys on the ship. I'm not entirely sure what his job description was. He's clearly up there. But who I thought really brought it, and I heard so much about her on TV and whatnot, and how she was really starting to get looked at for movies, was Gina Rodriguez. She's kind of just one of the engineers, more or less, on the ship. And while her role isn't huge, she brought something to this. She really, really brought it and added a lot to this movie and made it very much a very pure character that you wanted to see more of. And that's what was so great about this movie. But, I mean, this movie is intense. It is definitely a top 5 movie of the year for me right now. I don't know where I'm going to label it right now. And the only reason I'm not going to give this movie a perfect score is because, to me, a perfect movie should be able to be rewatchable as well. I don't know if I could go back and rewatch this over and over and over again because it's so intense. It's almost so hard to watch. It's so visceral and just brilliantly done that it is truly horrifying. As I said, it plays as a horror movie at times because the events in this thing are truly just terrifying. So for me, Deepwater Horizon, I'm going to score this thing huge. It is a 96%. This movie, as I said, it is incredible. It deserves to be seen. This is a part of the story that I felt was kind of left out of the newscast, or at least I didn't get it. Maybe it's because I live in Michigan, so I was a little ways from the coast where it happened, so I didn't hear much about this. Because this part of the story is the part that I think really needs to be shared, really needs to be told. And I thought what Peter Berg did also very well is, while you can definitely place blame on BP, and while that was definitely the news cycle, This very much focused on the human element, the human story, people just trying to survive in these situations, and it really was great. And also that what I liked very much was, before this movie, a teaser trailer for Patriots Day played, which I had not even seen the trailer for online. It doesn't show a lot, but it's Peter Berg's movie starring Mark Wahlberg once again. Comes out later this year, based on the Boston bombings, the event when it happened, then the investigation to find the people who were responsible for it. And if this movie's any indication, and that teaser trailer is any indication, we're in for another incredible movie later this year from both Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg again. But like I said, Deepwater Horizon is a must-see this year. It is a top 5 movie of the year for sure. It is an incredible, incredible movie. Well, there you guys have it. That's my review of Deepwater Horizon. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at NeatMovieNews for all the latest in the world of movie news. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you back here next time.